Thank you all for coming for the KADO Hour at Versefest. See a few people I haven't met before, which is our principal reader is Saskatoon. He's also a teacher and a great haiku writer, as well as a form of Japanese. And I say that because of this book that came out last year. He writes the prose piece of the Haibun, but the meditation is part of incorporates the Psalms in the Bible. Very interesting, but very ethical. I fell in love with the book. Told about it, and I ordered it. It's still on my desk, ready to read again. So without further ado, I'd like to present Sébastien Roch.
Merci, Michel. Thanks, Mike. Thank you to Allison. Thank you to Rob. Thank you to Stephen, who picked me up at the airport yesterday. I'd like to. Are there any fans of Ian McGilchrist? Ian McGilchrist, no. He's a psychiatrist who delves into theory of knowing and understanding, and he just came out with his latest Substack article. I think it was yesterday, a couple of days ago. He laid up three layers of understanding between. His big thing is the right brain and the left brain, and he. So maybe this is one for Brian. Where's Brian? I was just talking to Brian. Yeah. Okay, David Bohm. Do you know David Bohm? You would like this guy. Scientist, 20th century scientist. Anyway, so he overlays the tree of knowledge of good and evil on one side, which would be the left brain, and the tree of life would be the right brain, with David Bohm's theory of implicate and explicit understanding. And David Bohm is quoted to say, oh, thank you. He says, thought creates the world and then says, I did not do it. So I'm going to read that again. Thought creates the world and then says, I did not do it. And I had to read that a couple times. And I thought, wow, okay, I see how this can connect with haiku somehow, in that we're trying to present the experience and not so much represent the experience. And I thought, yeah, that was apropos as well. So the book, From the Morning Watch, yeah, from a psalm. And at first, I was seeking a through line. I was rediscovering the book of Psalm, and I did a deep dive. And as a collection of poetry, hymns, songs that's been around for 3,000 years, I thought it's worth investigating some more. And as I was looking for a through line, I saw some of the components of haiku in there, in the experience that the poets were trying to convey to the reader and to the listeners. So I'll read from the preface. I quote a French haiku writer who wrote a guide to haiku writing. Dominic Chipot, I forget the year. Let's see, when did he write that? Um, in 2011. It's called Haiku-do, so the way of haiku. He defines haiku this way. So haiku is an immediate art. Haiku is the art of immediacy, the art of simplicity, the art of looking, the art of listening, the art of refining, the art of precision, the art of humility, the art of withdrawing, the art of balancing, of the correct sound, the art of directing images, the art of sketching, the art of suggesting, the art of sharing. And this is from me, while other art expressions aim for similar goals, few art forms aim at so many goals at once. You would agree that there's quite a few goals in there. A haiku's apparent simplicity can be deceiving. So that's for the haiku part. So I was trying to bridge. So I was out of my first collection in French, and Mike and I will read some excerpts, bilingual excerpts after this. And I said, I was trying to marry this with my newly discovered interest in the Psalms, the Book of Psalms. And the core, so I found this book by a English literature teacher that lived in New England, Donald Sheehan, and he became the first director of the Robert Frost Institute. And he spent 30 years on studying, translating, understanding the Book of Psalms. And he wrote a book called Psalmic Book, the Shield. And it's a literary analysis of the Book of Psalms. And the main approach to the Book of Psalms, according to Donald Sheehan, is the way of attention, the way of attentiveness, or the way of mindfulness, which has become somewhat of a buzzword in the last few years. But applied to sacred Christian literature. And I wanted to read you how he sums up the approach to the Psalms, the Book of Psalms. So the key word of the Psalms is watch. It means A, look at the world, wake up, open your eyes, let in the vivid beauty and evil of the world, and act on what you behold. And B, attend closely to the movements within your own heart, asking also, where are they going? To God or away from Him? The combination of A and B produces in us what the Philokalia, we can talk about that later, the Philokalia calls nepsis, or attentiveness, is a good translation. All through the Holy Psalms, this attentiveness is both urged on us and manifested by the poets. And when I read that, I became really emotional. Because I thought, haiku seeks the experience, the presentation of the experience. And here I am invited by this scholar who spent 30 years understanding the Book of Psalms, and lo and behold, he tells me that maybe we can use the same approach as haiku while we read, chant, recite, and study the Psalms. So I basically fell in love, and I thought, okay, I'm going to try to write a book. Edward, thank you very much, Edward, there. So I'm going to ask Edward to change the page 2. So this was the original cover of the book that we were going for, my friend and I, because the book is divided in two parts. There's the haibun section. There's a haiku haibun for every psalm, so 150 of them. And there's a section at the back of the book which is haikus that are illustrated, and we can talk about that later. But so this is one of the illustrations that my friend had. Basically, she opened up her drawers. To me, she had never opened her art drawer to anyone, and we decided to see if we could do some collage between the poetry, between the songs, between the haiku, and between her and her art. And I really like that. The publisher didn't like it, but that's okay. I was telling Mike, I'm going to try with Mike. Maybe we'll try to do a French version of it in color, and because I owe that to my friend Yvonne, so we'll see about that. So let's start with the first text here. And Edward, you can click again. Thank you so much. I did make some little sticky notes here. Let's see if I can manage them. So this is from Psalm 118. Psalm 118 is the longest one. So there's a few more haikus for this one. So this is the last haiku for Psalm 118. Lord, help me dam the digital flux flooding my senses. Steady stream. The sheep reckons he is lost. Oh, there's a mixed match here, sorry. 141. Oh, we're ahead. That's going to be the second one. That's okay. So this one had to do with how invasive digital technology is in our lives, and will be even more as we go, as AI takes over. By the way, there's an organization, Writers Against AI, if you're interested. If you know Paul Kingsnorth, you look him up, and he put forward this organization, Writers Against AI, and I joined, and I welcome you to join as well. This one is this one. That's the right one. So Psalm 141. And the next few ones will have the theme of animals in it, or nature. Needing to make ends meet, I picked up a summer job that has me walking fields and fields of crops. Between hawks, foxes, moose, deer, grouses, gophers, ravens, badgers, pronghorns, cows, horses, and me, not sure who's the grumpiest about winter settling in again. You know my paths. Time to go back to the land of the living. And as spring might come our way, we should rejoice. This one is for my friends in Saskatchewan, because they're expecting 10 centimeters of snow today. So, from Psalm 17. Living on the Canadian prairie offers a great advantage. There are no volcanoes. The eruption of the Vesuvius at Pompeii carries a mythological weight that is still felt, even by people around the world close to 2,000 years later. Over the years, I have learned to appreciate wheat fields waving in a wind that rushes over a vast flat land. Somehow, it seems harder to conjure up divine fury imagery, such as the revelation of the foundation of the earth by a cherubim riding, fire-throwing God, in the context of gently rolling hills punctured by gopher holes. Fiery coals fall on the holy mount, hands still clean. From Psalm 100. As the health benefits of different types of meditation, Psalm 99. Can't read my own handwriting. Psalm 99. Animals have souls, but it is our divinely ordered nature that makes them lovable to us. Claws, fur, spit, stench, and all. Green pastures. He made the sheep and is the gate. Oh, it was hiding. Psalm 94. I left my heart somewhere in Bix National Park, Quebec. I remember carrying it to Pic Champlain's summit, bringing it back down and hiding it amidst the grain stones. She then played with it, up and down the tides, until, needing a rest, it beached at sunset, alone, and along the lower St. Lawrence's engulfing dreams. Wilderness days. My heart in his mountains and seas. Psalm 92. So I should clarify that I've been living in Saskatchewan for 25 years, but I'm from Quebec. And my secret garden was Eastern Quebec. Psalm 92. Tidelands with hurried fresh feet, bubbling mussels in the sand, and prophetic winds announcing the tide's return. Promise of plenty. The king is robed in majesty. See the sea rise. Psalm 94, another one on the tide. Trust comes in and out like the tide, sometimes high, sometimes low, depending on where I find myself. Sailors keep a scrupulous eye on the tide's schedules to avoid getting caught dry. May I be a mariner of the heart, aware of the pain and its moon that pulls or loosens my trust in others. Star of the sea, make safe my way. Caught at low tide with my feet sunken in. Forgive me. Psalm 106. My people were coastal people with briny hair, leathered cheeks, and eyes crying in joy for more wind. Pushed by kelpie breezes and drawn by moon-sized tides, they nonetheless stayed rooted in the dance of old, softly caressing each other's sand, losing themselves in the stars. Hurricanes turn into breeze, our Lord's haven. Here's another excerpt from Psalm 118. Now the first. So Psalm 118 is divided in three stasis, in three parts. This is from the first part. So we're going to leave Earth for a second. My childhood dream of becoming an astronaut never materialized. Launched by prayer, I now explore the ever-unfolding space of the interior. It's a long walk in spaciousness. Your statutes guide me. If you ever want to explore the Psalms and you haven't read them so far, I really suggest you read Psalm 118. It's a long one, but a good one. Psalm 95, back on earth. Waking up on the beach of a remote forest lake on a warm, mosquito-less morning is not God, but the graced experience in this way assuredly comes from Him. The trees of the wood rejoice before the Lord. The idol is numb. Psalm 1. From dawn to dusk, the tree labors quietly at being a tree. Pulling the earth up to the sky requires a slow and sustained effort. Is it harder to bring down the sun into the fruits? She should know. She made the best apple pie. Wind blows the chaff beyond sight. Be a tree. And the last one. How are we doing for time? I'm bad at time. How many readers? Okay. Last one? Okay. Raise your hand if you know The Little Prince. I was a bit disappointed with Antoine de Saint-Exupéry because I'm getting the impression that he might have stolen a line from Shakespeare. So, and it was my favorite line. So you guys correct me if I'm wrong, but this is from Psalm 62. Only with the heart that one can see rightly. What is essential is invisible to the eye, says the fox to the little prince. And I believe Shakespeare came up with that first. In this chance desert encounter, the fox describes love as the little prince's desire and ability to care for the rose. She can remain his despite the thorny branches of her vanity and self-entitlement. By refusing to be tamed by the little prince, the fox also teaches him about the hurt of lost friendship. Longing for you in barren lands, a taste of marrow. And I'm sorry, Edward, I completely lost the script on, so if we can go back or keep continuing. If you can just click, I've just missed, there was 3. So this one, yeah, so this one was the first one with the apple pie. And Longing for You in Barren Lands, a Taste of Marrow, this is the one right here. And that was our last one. So this is it from the Morning Watch. I didn't bring any copies. It's on Amazon. If you just, from the Morning Watch, haiku, there's only one, not too hard to find. I was sad and disappointed. This was the first book that is being done through Amazon, and our independent bookstore in Saskatoon would not sell it because of that reason. So I've learned my lesson. Next book will not be done on Amazon, so that's okay. You're welcome. Now, Mike, do you still want to do some bilingual work? I took too much time. Sorry about that. Just to say, Mike is a fantastic haiku writer himself, and he hosts a fantastic group here. And he had translated 14 of my haikus. I owe him lots, so thanks a lot for that, Mike.
Okay, Jessica.
Let's borrow this. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jessica Allison, and it's a pleasure to be here as a member of KADO to celebrate haiku and Japanese short form poetry. And I wanted to thank Versefest as well for the opportunity. The piece I'm sharing with you today is part of a larger work that I'm preparing for Haiku Canada's upcoming weekend, which has the theme of immigration. 80 years ago, my maternal grandmother Joyce immigrated from England to Canada to begin her new life as the wife of Arthur Stewart. Arthur was a Canadian soldier who had fought in Italy and the liberation of the Netherlands. They married in May of 1946, and Arthur was sent home at the end of June. Joyce followed in September, though her trip was more complicated than planned, with a last-minute switch from one vessel to another. Her voyage on the Lady Nelson took 10 days to travel from Southampton to Halifax, and then 2 days later, she arrived in Hamilton, Ontario by train, and that's where she spent the rest of her life. This poem uses a Renku-style structure to tell Joyce and Art's story. And for those who don't know, Renku is typically a collaborative linked verse that alternates between longer and shorter verses. And since this is about Joyce's journey, the longer verses are told from her point of view, and the shorter verses are from Art's perspective. Transatlantic. Life's choices scattered across the floor, half full luggage. Childhood gathers dust in the attic. Childhood gathers dust in the attic. Travel plans snarled in red tape, saying farewell again. Travel plans snarled in red tape, saying farewell again. A telegram arrives, did not sail yet. A telegram arrives, did not sail yet. Picking up steam, cliffs of home in our wake. Picking up steam, green cliffs of home in our wake. Update by wire, she's on her way. Update by wire, she's on her way. Above decks, the wind blows away our seasickness. Above decks, the wind blows away our seasickness. A thunderstorm rolls across the bay. A thunderstorm rolls across the bay. Appetite revived, my first white bread as an adult. Appetite revived, my first white bread as an adult. Recommendations for Mother's grocery list. Recommendations for Mother's grocery list. Designing ship's crest for onboard activities, a fresh pencil. Designing ship's crest for onboard activities, a fresh pencil. Twiddling the knobs on the radio set. Twiddling the knobs on the radio set. My cabin mate spots land first, a ducat for her thoughts. My cabin mate spots land first, a ducat for her thoughts. News from the east, she arrives in 2 days. News for the east, she arrives in 2 days. Search for cotton wool, desperation grows with each level crossing. Search for cotton wool, desperation grows with each level crossing. A stop at the florist to pick up roses. A stop at the florist to pick up roses. Fresh lipstick, the train slows to a stop. Fresh lipstick, the train slows to a stop. A final adjustment to this new suit. A final adjustment to this new suit. Thank you.
Okay, Morag Humble.
Thank you. I'm Morag Elizabeth Humble, and I'm also a member of KADO, and it's my first time reading my poetry, actually, in a public space. So, thank you. So I'm just going through the seasons of a year, beginning with my birthday, which is in the spring. Last March, I turned 60. I just turned 61, so I'm kind of taking you over the course of a year briefly. Salt scrub. I leave behind my 59th year. Spring slush. No way around this mess. Cloudy and windy. Under the jacaranda, purple rain. Sitting on the pier, enjoying the warm breeze, 2 seagulls. Yellow grain ripens under a clear blue sky, still praying for Ukraine. Blazing maple, the cardinal I hear but cannot see. Argyle sweaters, watching the geese depart in formation. Forest snowshoe, we watch the owl watching us. Thank you.
Ruth Kennedy.
Hello, friends. I have for you 3 haiku and 1 haibun on the theme of curling. So very bravely last fall, I joined Adult Learn to Curl program. It was a blast right up until, and you'll have to wait to find out what happened. First snowflakes curl to earth. Hurry hard. First snowflakes curl to earth. Hurry hard. A rock thrown through the house. Weighty decision. A rock thrown through the house. Weighty decision. Skip's gamble, a crowd pleaser. Triple takeout. Skip's gamble, a crowd pleaser. Triple takeout. The title of my high bun is Sweeping. The moment I detect something is wrong, it's too late. I go down hard. The thwack of the helmet on ice burrows into memory. I immediately try to get back up, worried I will melt the surface, but my fellow curlers insist I stay down until ready. I am no judge of ready. My brain is injured. I have no idea how badly. Gratitude surges first, a survival response, followed by regret that my first spiel has ended so abruptly. The rumble of granite, a curler's dream in pebbled ice. The rumble of granite, a curler's dream in pebbled ice.
Just a few haiku from a manuscript I have out under consideration. Lightweights is the working title of it. Offline from news, the red-winged blackbird won't tell us anything. Laughter over slush. Homeless men threaten to sue each other. Ghost pipes. Not all dependencies are obvious. Delayed grief. 6 months after his death, ginkgo leaves fall. The lane blocked. Cherry sweet air after the storm. 3 more. I'm startled by Combs' white hair. Lilacs blossom. Rainy day crime novel, the closest I get to prayer. Maples can't keep their colors. Dementia's cruel.
Doris Pfizer.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's so great to be here. Thank you very much. So I am going to read just 5 haiku, and they're brand new. The first 3 are about spring, and the last 2 about getting older. So, first robin, heartbeats. First robin, heartbeats. March rain, trickles of birdsong. March rain, trickles of birdsong. Stepping softly, I share the sidewalk with a robin. Stepping softly, I share the sidewalk with a robin. A touch on my shoulder at the family gravesite, drifting leaf. A touch on my shoulder at the family gravesite, drifting leaf. To die of old age, the scent of late summer roses. To die of old age, the scent of late summer roses. Thank you.
And Brian Cox. Brian Cook.
Michael.
You're somebody doing this today.
Okay. Hi, folks. I'm Brian Cook. I'm a member of KADO, and I'm reading from something that's coming out in May. First time reading on the stage haiku and senryu. I'm a haibunist. And I'm getting old, so I'm going to read you something about aging. Out of tune, our grand piano, where little fingers played. Out of tune, our grand piano, where little fingers played. Making her breakfast, my tears spit in the pan. Making her breakfast, my tears spit in the pan. Panic dream, she's leaving me again. Panic dream, she's leaving me again. Binge watching, paper bags under my eyes. Binge watching, paper bags under my eyes. Tax returns, my life reduced to a paper trail. Tax returns, my life reduced to a paper trail. Old concussion, moments without memory. Old concussion, moments without memory. Our retro furniture beside the curb, gone in minutes. Our retro furniture beside the curb, gone in minutes. House clearance, sneezing out sad memories. House clearance, sneezing out sad memories. No longer playing with marbles, old age. No longer playing with marbles, old age. Wake up alarm, the slam of the mailbox. Wake up alarm, the slam of the mailbox. Ergonometric kitchen, still tripping over the cat's food bowl. Ergonometric kitchen, still tripping over the cat's food bowl. Bewildered by all the buttons, air fryer. Bewildered by all the buttons, air fryer. Old china boxed in the closet, grandma's willow pattern. Old china boxed in the closet, grandma's willow pattern. Sepia portraits, only grandma knew their names. Sepia portraits, only grandma knew their names. Squirrely, did I take my meds? Squirrely, did I take my meds? Still on the hunt. This old dog twitches by the fire. Still on the hunt. This old dog twitches by the fire. Now here's a bad one. Asking the purser for a condom, senior's cruise. Asking the purser for a condom, senior's cruise. Crossword puzzles and ice cream wrappers, insomniac. Crossword puzzles and ice cream wrappers, insomniac. Strapped inside a revolving portal, medically magnetized. Strapped inside a revolving portal, medically magnetized. Isotope injection, a radioactive flashlight in my heart. Isotope injection, a radioactive flashlight in my heart. Oh, don't move. Deep breath and hold. Living skeleton. Don't move. Deep breath and hold. Living skeleton. Ah, that silver serpent, colonoscopy. Ah, that silver serpent, colonoscopy. One roller coaster life, not envying the cat's 9. One roller coaster life, not envying the cat's 9. Beckoning, the mystery of eternity. Beckoning, the mystery of eternity. I got time for some more? Okay. Just a quick few about a spring that hasn't happened yet. Snowbank clearance, winter's geology in white and grime. Snowbank clearance, winter's geology in white and grime. Pepper on the thaws, snow fleas. Pepper on the thaw, snow fleas. Sudden thaw, an ice hut drifts downstream. Sudden thaw, an ice hut drips downstream. Spring breakup, ghosting from the flows, a raftsman's song. Spring breakup, ghosting from the flows, a raftsman's song. Ephemeral petals peeking through the litter, hepatica. Ephemeral petals peeking through the litter, hepatica. Cherry blossom bud, half open, the geisha's tiny lips. Cherry blossom bud, half open, the geisha's tiny lips. Spring stroll through the spring stroll, the suddenness of a bicycle. Spring stroll, the suddenness of a bicycle. Planted tomatoes, of course, a frost warning. Planted tomatoes, of course, a frost warning. Tulip festival, a shutterbug captures a shutterbug, and that one's for Pearl. Canvassing for cancer research, daffodils, and I've got two more. Confetti for a fairy wedding, pin cherry petals. Confetti for a fairy wedding, pin cherry petals. And roadside stall, fiddleheads and wild garlic. Roadside stall, fiddleheads and wild garlic. Thank you.
Okay, well, I just want to thank everybody for coming this afternoon on this busy Sunday. I think it's Sunday. Well, every day is a Sunday, I guess. So, thank you all again. Hope to see you next year. Thank you.